Hello friends, Christian here with Brick Life Crisis again. Today we have another LEGO architecture set. This time it is New York City. This is set number 21028, consisting of 598 pieces. Let's not waste any time. Let's open it up. Alright, here's the back of the box, and you can get an idea of the model that's inside. Down here we have the Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, Chrysler Building, the Flatiron Building, and One World Trade Center. So inside the box we have just under 600 pieces, 598 according to the official specifications. And here we go. Two large bags and three smaller bags, one medium bag, a brick separator, an invitation to take a product survey, and a beautiful and rather thick instruction manual. Alright, and like all the architecture sets, the instruction manual is bound like a book. And inside we have some beautiful photography information about the city, and then about the individual buildings in this particular set. So we have the Statue of Liberty, One World Trade Center, Chrysler Building, Empire State, Flatiron, a little bit of information about all of those. And then it has the same information in multiple languages. Then we get into the directions, and then some other models that are available. Just really well done, nicely bound, beautiful manual. Alright, so in sorting out the pieces I came across this, which is a piece that I have not seen before, I don't think. It's kind of interesting. Almost looks like it could be a barrel of a gun or something, but I'm guessing it's for an internal structure. But anyway, just kind of an interesting piece that I'm unfamiliar with, so thought I'd point it out. Alright, here we have the New York City skyline, starting with Statue of Liberty, followed by the Empire State Building, followed by the Chrysler Building, the Flatiron Building, and One World Trade Center. These are all in relative scale to each other as far as height goes. Of course, geographically, they're not at all this close to each other, really. But as far as the overall height goes, they are pretty well accurate and to scale. And you'll notice that One World Trade Center goes all the way up to here, with the communications tower up there at the top. This was a pretty interesting build. There were obviously 5 different small builds. The most complicated was definitely One World Trade Center, which was actually in several pieces. From here to the floor was one build. Then this section here was another. This section here was a third, then a fourth, and the antenna structure on top was a 5th subassembly. The simplest build was probably the Flatiron. That's basically just a stack of wing pieces. But overall, it was a pretty satisfying build. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a closer look at some of this stuff. The Statue of Liberty, as you can see, is just a microfigure sitting on top of a base, surrounded by some clear tiles to represent water. Of course, we have the signature printed piece. It says New York City. The Empire State Building is made up of dozens of those tan grill pieces, and then we've got like a rocket piece on the very top there, along with a cone and a rod. The Empire State Building, or the Chrysler Building rather, is kind of interesting in that it's alternating between clear and white tiles to give that windowed look. And then at the top we have some kind of silver colored, we've got the tooth, claw pieces, cone pieces. There's quite a bit that went into making the spire at the top. The Flatiron Building is this little guy. And if you look at it from the top, you can kind of get an idea of how it was built. It's just a whole stack of the wing pieces in a couple of different colors. We've got light and dark gray, and then the tan, and then 1 by 1 round plates there, and then a couple of tiles on top to flatten it up. What's interesting is the way the wedge pieces work. It looks like windows on the different floors, which is kind of cool. As far as the One World Trade Center, it's all tiled off, and as you can see, it is pretty tall. Taller than my background. So, what do I think overall? I think it's pretty cool. It was a pretty satisfying build. Definitely more complicated than Venice, which was only 212 pieces. This is 598, so it's obviously a bit more involved. Yeah, I think it was very cool, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who is even remotely interested in the Skyline series from the architecture line of Lego sets. And of course, inside the manual we have some very nice photography. This is the One World Trade Center. This, interestingly enough, if you didn't know, is 1,776 feet tall. That's a symbolic height, representing 1776, when our nation was born. The Statue of Liberty is represented by a microfigure, so you can't quite get it to look just like the Statue of Liberty. Of course, she's not holding a tablet, and she's not raising a torch above her head, and there are no spikes on her head, but I think it's a pretty good representation anyway, with the little microfigure right there. Sorry, focus is not great, but the Flatiron Building is interesting in that it has an interesting shape. It's substantially narrower at the one end than it is at the other. This building was built in 1901, and of course is still there today, and it's just kind of iconic. I'm sure you've seen it in movies and in photographs and things like that, but anyway, that's the Flatiron Building. The Chrysler Building is most well known for the top, which is covered in stainless steel and really shines in the sunlight. The building is 1,046 feet tall, and it was the world's largest building for 11 months until it was surpassed by the Empire State Building in 1931. And here we have the Empire State Building. It's located in Midtown Manhattan on 5th Avenue between 33rd and 34th Streets. It's 1,454 feet tall, and it was completed in April of 1931. And then here we have just a picture of, I believe, the Brooklyn Bridge, crossing the river there. Again, the manual is just full of beautiful photography and a lot of interesting information about the city and the 5 iconic buildings, or 4 buildings and a statue that we see in this set. And there we have it. New York City in all its glory. One World Trade Center, the Flatiron Building, the Chrysler Building, the Empire State Building, and of course the Statue of Liberty. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave us a like. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button if you want to be notified of future videos. Please, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And if you happen to have your own LEGO channel, please leave the name of it in the comments section. That way we and everyone else can get a chance to come and check it out. Until next time, thanks for watching, and take care.